What's up, everybody? It's Zack McCarley. I am back with Life on a Budget. Just want to come and talk. This is going to be a really broad video. Hopefully I'm going to wrap it up inside 6 or 7 minutes. We'll see. But I'm going to be touching on lifting, contest, travel, life in general, and equipment. And then I'm also going to be doing a little bit of food as well. So let's get on with it. Lifting, okay? If you're on a budget, and you still want to be lifting, don't be picky, okay? Don't be like, oh, my gym has to have a monolift, my gym has to have bands, my gym has to have chains, they have to allow chalk. I grew up in a gym that was $10 a month. They got mad at me when I grunted. Oh well, they yelled at me every once in a while, big deal, you know what I mean? You can make it work. I made it work, you can make it work. So don't be picky. Use your discounts. Right? So if you're going to a gym and you got friends going there, or you're moving to an area and you already know some people going to that gym, get on the family discount. Be like, yeah, we're roommates, whatever. Say what you gotta say. Get that family discount. There's also discounts for students, military. There's work discounts at a lot of CrossFits and places like that, and just there's several other kinds of discounts. Something special for students. Make sure you're utilizing what you're already paying for, right? A lot of students already pay for several services, and one of which is an open gym, a student gym. So if you're a student and times are tough, you don't have a whole lot of money, what you should do is you should go to the student gym and not pay money out of pocket for another gym if you can avoid it. Okay, let's go over to contests real quick. If you're short on cash and you really want to go to a contest, you really want to do a contest, think about hosting a contest. Right? And if you can't host a contest, or you don't feel confident hosting a contest, first off, go travel, ride, hitchhike, crawl, bike, get to a contest and see how it's ran, volunteer and see how everything works behind it, and then put on your own contest. And if you get done with that experience and you decide you don't want to host a contest, then just wait. Wait till you're real good at the sport. I mean, there's no reason that you have to compete, although I do think one of the best things that you can do for yourself is compete even if you're not extremely experienced, because that's how you get experience. Next thing up, travel. Okay, usually when you go on a contest, when you're competing, when you're doing all this stuff, you got to deal with travel. So something that's huge is networking. Okay, you can network with different athletes on Facebook, Twitter, all these different social medias. We're in an awesome time period where there is an incredible amount of resources. And just as an example, I will be headed over to Connecticut to compete in the Clydesdale Games in June, mid-June this year, and I will not be paying for hotel or a whole lot of travel expenses because a friend of mine, Johnny Wasico, I put it out there on Facebook. And I said, hey, I want to go to the Clydesdale Games. Can I crash on somebody's couch? And less than 5 minutes later, Johnny popped up, hey man, crash on my couch. I'll give you a ride to the contest. So I'm flying into New York, and me and him are going to be carpooling all the way up to Connecticut. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be a weekend out of it. But guess what? He saved me, $300. And I'm flying into a bigger airport, so he saved me another $100, $150 right there. So you just got to be smart about these things. Another thing is, I already kind of went over splitting costs with friends and competitors, but buy your tickets early, okay? I bought my ticket 3 months out, you know what I'm saying? You got to buy your tickets early, and you got to get on top of things. Don't wait till the last minute. Don't think they're going to go down, because fares always go up at the last minute. Okay, where I like to go for my travel things is Bing.com. I go to the travel thing and type in the airports. I'm not very picky. I will, I'll change a day or two around. I'll wait a day if it's going to bring down the cost $150 because, I can make arrangements in my life. I can move things around to accommodate to the cheaper schedule. So, next thing is life in general. Okay, don't buy things you can't afford, right? That's not very complex, but don't buy things you can't afford. Too many people are like, oh, I want a bunch of equipment, so they go buy equipment, and they're like, oh, I got nowhere to put it, and I have to sell my equipment, so they sell their equipment. stupid cheap and then they lose a bunch of money. Or, you know, the same thing can be said for houses, cars, boats, you know, whatever you're talking about. Don't buy something if you can't afford it, especially if money is scarce. Okay, plan on big purchases for at least 30 days. That's something that I've done for a long time. I definitely believe in, if I'm going to make a big purchase, I write it down and I look at it at least 2 or 3 times a week and I say, do I really want this? Is this something that I can afford? Is it something that I'm going to use? Is it worth the money? Okay, and after about a month, maybe 2 months, if you're still thinking, oh, you know, I could really use that, there's a lot of circumstances that I really want that in, you know, then go out and buy it. But if after 2 weeks you're like, man, that's stupid, like, there is your sign, okay? Don't buy that. You just got to be smart with your purchases and be patient. Be a penny pincher. There's no shame in it, right? I'm a penny pincher myself. You know, don't go drinking on the weekends. Don't be going out to a bunch of restaurants if you don't got the money for it. Just be smart about your spending. It's really not that complex, right? You know, it's you just got to be smart about your money expense situation. I saved this one for last as far as the life on a budget. I'm going back to lifting, but something that can save you a lot of money and a lot of hassle is buying some of your own equipment. And I made another section down here, equipment. Okay, that includes things like tacky cloths. Okay, a lot of people a couple years back were, you know, oh, Gorilla Grip's the thing. It was this like tack cloth and people be putting it in their belt and it's like, oh, it makes your hands all sticky. It's like a resin towel. And those things were like 10, 15, 20 bucks a towel. And you can go to the hardware store and spend $1 on a cheap, what's called tack rag. And it is used for finishing or varnishing wood. It's $1. It's the exact same thing. Okay? Bands. Okay? When I started looking around for bands, when I started getting into band training, bands were really expensive. And so I started looking out different ways. And one of the things that I found was, you know, at the time we were training in a warehouse, and I saw these bands, you know, around a bunch of the boxes, and I was like, huh, okay, well, I'm going to look into some shipping bands. I looked into shipping bands, and these bands were like 50 cents a piece, so I bought like 10 or 20 of them, and I started banding up a whole bunch of my stuff. And actually, I got one right over here. I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, this is a shipping band, right? It doesn't provide the same amount of resistance, but this thing for 50 cents is a heck of a lot better than at the time it was like $30 for a real band. Nowadays you got the mini bands over EFS and a bunch of great deals on bands, so realistically you don't need to buy, like coming back here, you don't need to buy a gym membership just because a place has bands. You can buy bands on your own. You can buy the short bands for deadlifts. You can buy normal bands for squats or bench or whatever you're going to be doing. You can set it up in a conventional gym, you know, a ma and pa gym, kind of like a gym that I grew up in. Next thing, Craigslist and forums. Okay, if you don't feel like making your own equipment, if you can't make your own equipment, if you don't have the money to buy it from big places like Rogue or Atomic Athlete or any of those kind of places, look on Craigslist. Look on forums. Murundi Muscle is one that I've seen a lot of people. You know, I see something. Well, while I frequented the site, I'd see at least 1 or 2 things a month that were like, oh, giving away stones. You know, first come, first serve. You just gotta be vigilant. And Craigslist is another place where, you know, if you don't got money for a gym membership, but you got a little bit of space, say a garage. I've picked up 180 pounds in weights for $20 before off Craigslist, and these were nice plates. There was 4 nice 45-pound plates, and I picked them up for $20. And so I've gotten several deals off Craigslist like that. So you just got to be looking. Maybe, you know, pick 2 days a week and just start plugging away at looking at things. Okay. Last thing I have for equipment is befriend a welder. If you don't know how to weld yourself, if you can't make your own equipment, find somebody that can. Cut them a deal. If you own a business, have a service that you can provide, trade services. You know, it doesn't always have to be about money. Okay, you can make a deal and you can compromise. All right, so next video I make is going to be going into a little bit more food, what I spend on food, like budgeting, and yeah, I'll put a link up in the right hand corner. Well, actually, sorry, I'll put a link down here. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and Strength Crew TV. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you got any questions, comment in the box below. Make sure to subscribe, blah, 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 like, favorite, yeah, whatever. Alright, I will catch you next time.